Good morning. So, I thought I paid it with as a product. Sir. Yes, sir. So, yeah. Good morning. Morning. Let me remove this one. So, yeah, I think it's recording. Let me confirm that. Yeah, recording on. So, Dr. Balogun, you have the plus. Can you hear me? Hear me, sir? Okay, good. I hope you're not frozen. Okay, good. I can see your
Oh,
mouse moving. So.
yes, sorry, I didn't know I'm still like this unmute button. Can you confirm if you can hear me, please?
Yes, we can hear you and we can see your screen.
Yes, sir. Perfect, perfect. So good morning, everybody. My name is Yakubu Balogun, and it's my pleasure to be speaking this morning on the UK Global Talent Visa. And thank you very much, Dr. Shella, for having me to have this conversation with everybody. I'm not going to give too many introduction about myself, but just to say that, yes, I've got UK Global Talent Visa before, and I've moved away from UK Global Talent Visa anyways. But as somebody that has been on this kind of visa before, it's my pleasure to always take any opportunity to talk about it, to be able to speak to us, not so much about the advantage of it, because the advantage is very, very apparent, all of the advantages and what you stand to get if you're on the UK Global Talent Visa. But my main conversation is always having to let people know that you can actually go for it. So I'm going to spend lots of my energy this morning, not just to tell you about how good it is, because how good it is just one slide. So what I will focus on is that you can do it and now you can do it. So that's going to be more of my conversation today. Now, what is a UK Global Talent Visa? So the UK Global Talent Visa is a form of visa that the UK is using to attract talented and promising individuals in different fields to the UK. Now, I say to people about the UK Global Talent Visa, it's an interesting thing in that think about the United Kingdom as a government or a kingdom that wants the best and the best to come and stay in their country and develop their country. So if you're very, very good, if you're very, very great, you're very, very smart, you're Ghanaian, you're Nigerian, you're American, you're Australian, the United Kingdom wants you to come with that, your level of expertise, talent, and your innovation and impact track record to come to the UK because they believe that you'll probably be able to replicate same in the UK. So that's basically what the global talent means, okay? So I was introduced, I think, about 2020, and then it's got an history as exceptional talent and all that. But the main thing I want to say to you here is they say they say, quote and unquote, exceptionally talented people. Okay. But I like to say it this way, that is a kind of subjective way to put it. Exceptionally talented. Because the question right now is this: who are the people that are exceptionally talented? And then I look at myself, yes, I'm talented, but I don't know if I'm exceptionally talented. So the fact that I've got UK Global Talent Visa makes me tell people that if you can demonstrate track record of talent, and then we can be able to look into the future, forecast into the future, and say, based upon the track record that you have, you'll be able to do this and this and this in the future, then you can also pivot yourself as somebody that's having what they call exceptional talent. So you don't really need to be one superstar from one big university to get the UK Global Talent Visa. So I'm trying to let you know that you can, you definitely can. And that's why we're having this conversation this morning. What are some of the advantages of, yeah, getting on the UK Global Talent Visa? Number one, you can actually choose how long you want to stay in the UK. You want to stay 1 year, 2 years, 3 years, or 5 years, and then you can renew it if you so desire. Okay. And then you can get any job on any job. You can be self-employed. You can be a director, register your own company, set up company, and do stuff like that. And you can change job without having any communication with the home office. It's not like I'm on a COS in company A and I want to go to company B. I also need a COS from this other company. If not, if this company is paying me 30,000 and another one will pay me 65,000, but wouldn't sponsor my visa, I'm stuck on the guy that gives me 20 or 30,000 because they will sponsor my visa. I can't even go to the one that will pay me 50 because he can't sponsor visa. With the UK Global Talent Visa, you can actually move from this to that based upon maybe the pay or the job satisfaction or whatever parameter with which you choose. And then you can set up your own company, you can set up your own stuff, you can do stuff. And if you've got dependents, you don't have restriction. All the restrictions on if you're on this visa, you can't bring dependents, you can't bring this. UK Global Talent Visa doesn't have anything to do with that. And of course, you can travel abroad, you can return to the UK and do stuff, and it's a direct route to settlement in the UK. So I'm going to tell you today, it's divided into two, which I'll show you in the next couple of slides. Now, there's a category that if you've been on the UK Global Talent Visa for 5 years, straight, you become a permanent resident. You just move to a definite leave. Now, there's the other category that just 3 years on the UK Global Talent Visa, it is permanent residency. I was on UK Global Talent Visa a few years ago, and after 3 years on UK Global Talent Visa, I moved straight to being permanent resident. So it's as smooth and straight as that. And in this period, I've had to do this job, change job to this or that one. I've had to do the other stuff. I've had to get myself registered on Company House with regards to some entrepreneurial endeavors with some friends and colleagues. So this generally encapsulates the advantage of the UK Global Talent Visa if you want to compare it to any other visa route. Okay, now the categories are broadly divided into two. You've got the established leader on one side, and you've got the promised talent on the other side. Now, who exactly are the established leader? Think about somebody that's been able to demonstrate himself or herself as a world-renowned authority in his field or her field. So you are a researcher, you already have that kind of international recognition in your field, or you are in arts and culture, or you are an innovator in the digital sector, you've got this kind of worldwide recognition, you've got this very, very far-reaching impact and influence. And if you're in academia as well, you've been able to bring in lots of funding, research grants, you've got a very, very robust portfolio and track record, then you can come in this category. Now, the promised talent is a category of those that you haven't got this kind of very, very huge portfolio, but you still consider yourself of having that level of exceptional talent that they are looking for. So you are not established leader in that case, you are a promised talent. Now, the promised talent is divided into two again. Now, there's a category of those that have got job offer, fellowship or grant. Now, but this job offer or fellowship or grant, they've got some specific area that they want you to have got a job, a fellowship, or a grant. It's not like I've got a job and I'm a lecturer in Salford University or Robert Gordon or Teesside University. No, that doesn't fall in that category. But there's some research grants that you would get or some fellowship grant that you would get. I mean, if you go on the website, I'm going to talk so deep about that. I'm just trying to let you know what that means, but that's not my core area of conversation. But these people is a category that, yeah, you got quick response, and then it's also promised, but it's going to be quicker, and you also get your Global Talent endorsement. But I'm going to be speaking a lot more on this peer review. Now, why did I choose the peer review? For two reasons. Number one reason is because this peer review route seems like the least. If you look at the ladder, for example, this is the top, and then you come here, and from here you come here, and this is the least. So when I say this is the least, I don't mean it's the least in that it's a bad category. I mean it's the least in that it doesn't require what this requires, neither does it require what this one requires. It then means lots of persons can fit into this category. That's my number one reason for talking on this. And number two, this is exactly where I applied. So when I applied, I wasn't like an established leader. So people don't think this morning that, oh, Yakub was an established leader. That was why I got UK Global Talent Visa. If I'm not an established leader, I can't get it. No, remove that from your mind. And I don't want anybody to think I've got one job offer in these areas or I've got one fellowship or grant. I never got this when I got UK Global Talent Visa. So I was also in this peer review category, which I call the list, quote and unquote. So this is where we're going to be having conversation because it is the one that can take a lot more persons. It's open to everybody, and also that is why I came in. And the people that I've worked with over the years, we've always been on this peer review area, and we've got some amount of success in doing this. Now, having got that understanding of the way the UK Global Talent is, and we all have agreed that we're here right now, we've moved from the top and all the way, and we all know we're here. Now, let's split this one now. Let's split it into three. So, now that we have an agreement that we are in that peer review area, you now put yourself either academia or research, arts and culture, or digital technology. Now, what does all of them represent? Now, academia and research, it's not just being a lecturer. You can be a lecturer for the past 5 and 10 to 10 years, and you apply, you will not get, or you might not get the UK Global Talent Visa endorsement. So it's not just being in academia. You need to be able to demonstrate some level of research, sizable level of research. It doesn't mean you must have done something out of this world. We'll talk about that in a minute. But first category, academia and research. You can actually be somebody that you're not really in academia, you're not a lecturer, but you've got research history. And then you're an active researcher. Maybe, and you have got an affiliation, maybe a research institute or any other organization that is recognized or known in the area of research. Yeah, you fit into this category very nicely. Now, if we go to arts and culture, think about anything you do that promotes arts, culture, music, writing, literary stuff, architecture, just name it. You can fit into arts and culture. Fashion designing, you can actually fit in there. And then digital technology. If you've been a digital disruptor, an innovator you've been in a space or you've worked in a position where you've used digital technology to be able to create a very, very remarkable impact in any sector. You can actually think about coming to apply for digital technology on the Global Talent under digital technology. Okay, so that's exactly what this means. So these are the three broad categories. So for me, I'm always going to share my experience as I'm having this conversation. I actually applied here, but I'm going to talk about everything as we progress. So let's zoom into academia and research. What do you need? I did say earlier, you'll be a leader, but remove this leader from this conversation right now. What we're discussing here is potential leader, science, medicine, engineering, humanities, or social science. So one thing I say is under academia and research, like everybody, whatever you study, you can actually fit somewhere. So long as you've got this research portfolio. The main thing here is research. So any area, you've gone through university, you are in research space, you can find a place where you fit into this old stuff. Yeah. And what exactly do you demonstrate? As I said before, you want to demonstrate that you've got this so-called exceptional talent to become a potential leader in science, medicine, as the case may be. And the process I'll talk about in a minute goes through a peer review process. Remember, I did say we've got different categories, and we're not looking at I've got job or I've got grant or I've got fellowship. We're looking at peer review. And who does the peer review? There are organizations that will do this peer review. It is not the UK VI, the embassy people that will do it. So there's recognized organizations that are specialists in your field that will do this review. And if you're applying under research academia, you will be thinking about Royal Society for Science and Medicine. You could be thinking about British Academy for Humanities and Social Science. You'll be considering Royal Academy of Engineering. So this is where I applied through. So my endorsement was done by the Royal Academy of Engineering. Okay. The person that I got that I supported when she got her own earlier, I think is it 2 months ago? I think she was Royal Society. No, British Academy. Yes, British Academy, because she's a lawyer, so she studied law. So it was British Academy that we went through to get our own endorsement. So you can use either of these. And how do you choose? Depends on your area. You go on the website, you look at the different stuffs, and they will tell you the different area that they specifically look into. Based upon that, you will decide and say, oh, I'm coming from mechanical engineering. These are the stuffs I've done. These are the stuffs I'm going to be submitting for consideration. And with that, you know it's Royal Academy. You'll be applying to peer review your work or peer review your application or Royal Society or British Academy. That's how that decision is made. Now, what exactly do you need to apply? Number one, before you can apply, you must have worked in an approved research discipline. Remember, what we're discussing here is research. The academia side is even very, very limited, to be fair. If you've been a lecturer for 10 years and you don't have any considerable research portfolio, trust me, you are not eligible for the UK Global Talent Visa. If on the other side, you've been a lecturer for less than 1 year and you've got considerable research portfolio, you can apply and get the UK Global Talent Visa. And I'm telling you, out of not one, not two, not three past experience that I've got. When I applied and got UK Global Talent Visa, I just finished my doctorate. And my lecturing then was part-time. I was a part-time lecturer while I was doing my PhD. So I just finished my PhD. I mean, I did my Viva at the end, I think was it September 30th or so. And just a couple of weeks after I submitted, because I was planning for the application. So immediately after my Viva, you know how it works in the UK. So you've got 4 years after, sorry, 4 months after the expiration of your Tier 4 visa. So as my Tier 4 visa of 4 years for my doctorate was expiring in September, you know, the other one is going to be January when it's all going to expire, which is the 4 months extra. So within that period, I submitted and got my endorsement and moved straight from Tier 4 into the Global Talent Visa. So it's not like I've got one heavy lecturing experience. And just to let you know, before my doctorate, I wasn't a lecturer. I was actually working more in the industry in Nigeria, to be more specific. So it's not because I've been a lecturer that gave me Global Talent Visa. Instead, it's because I've been able to demonstrate some level, sizable amount of research history. So that was exactly what I used. And I've seen lecturers that have got ample amount of experience lecturing in the university that has applied and did not get the endorsement. So when you compare both, I can categorically tell you that you can get Global Talent Visa with less than 1 year experience as a lecturer if you've got sizable research portfolio. And on the other side, you can have 5 years, 6 years, 7 years experience in lecturing. If you cannot demonstrate that research that they want to see, you wouldn't get it. And I've been talking about research. What exactly do you demonstrate? There's one distinguishing factor I tell people in my mentoring program about global talent. Think about it this way. Here is somebody that is doing something that is already established and does it very well. Here is another person that tries something new, tries to bring something different into the space. That is where global talent is. And I will explain what I mean by that. I'm a lecturer. I've been a very good lecturer, but I've been lecturing the concepts, the theories that are already known and established. And I've done this for 5 years. That's not global talent. But I'm a researcher. And what I'm researching right now is looking for new ideas, looking for new ways to do the stuff, looking for ways to optimize stuff, looking for some research questions, some intricacies that have not been considered. So I'm not just teaching the normal area of a rectangle or whatever. I'm not just teaching those fundamental stuff that we already know, but instead I'm researching deep-rooted fact, looking for motives, looking for gap in the literature, and I'm being able to go out there and discuss with my research findings, get lots of feedback. That is where global talent sits. Okay. So that's why it says you must be an active researcher, either in the university, research institute, or business. You should have a PhD, but not necessarily. If you don't have a PhD, if you have equivalent research experience, you can put in for the Global Talent Visa. Now, I'm going to talk about this a little bit more in this way. One thing about a PhD is that the PhD by default makes you a researcher because that's what PhD is. That's number one. Number two, if you've gone through a PhD, you've done a very, very robust PhD, you would definitely within that 3-4 years have built a sizable research portfolio that demonstrates that you've got the understanding, you've got the talent to be able to do research. And if given the opportunity, you can do a lot more. That is what a PhD does for you. However, there are some persons that go through PhD and they've applied for Global Talent Visa and they were not given. I've seen more than one, more than two, more than three. So that's why I say if you've gone through a PhD, although by default, the PhD is going to help you build that research history, it also depends on you, depends on your research, your supervisory team, and now your research has gone for these 3 to 4 years. Not everybody finishes a PhD and are in a good position to apply for Global Talent Visa. But if you've gone through a more robust PhD, you should be in a very good position to submit for Global Talent Visa endorsement. If, however, you didn't go through a PhD, you have a master's, you start, first of all, you would have maybe published from your master's thesis or your bachelor's thesis, and then you've also been able to continue in the research pathway, and you've got a sizable amount of research, and you've been able to disseminate your work either by conferences, attending conference, presenting conference, publish papers, publish here, and maybe you've been supporting in reviewing some different other people's work. That clearly demonstrates that you've got that research appetite and you've got that research track record with which you can apply for the UK Global Talent Visa. As I've said before, you do not need a job to do this thing. All you need is just what we've captured here. And in submitting it, your CV is always normal. Now you need to have a motivation statement. I should put this thing in highlight because this motivation statement is one of the main documents you'll be submitting, like 1,000 words to 1,500 words. You'll be able to say where you're coming from, what you've done, and where you are going to, and how the UK will benefit. I'm going to show you what I give to some of the persons in my group as a framework when you're writing this motivation statement in a minute. And then you're also going to get this recommendation letter is another very important one. And they want you to get a recommendation letter from who they call an eminent person that's living in the UK who knows you and your work and can endorse you as being of that level of talent for the Global Talent Visa, so-called. So what that means is that this person must be resident in the UK and the person must somebody that knows you. And the way to demonstrate that is if you've done stuff with this person must know a little bit about your track record, not just somebody. It's not like a character reference here. It has to be a recommendation based upon that your niche area of research. That's what the person is recommending you on. So in my own case, our research director was the one that wrote my recommendation letter when I applied. Now, apart from this very most important letter of recommendation, you can get other letters from different other persons. When I applied, I got this very eminent personality one letter, and I got, I think, 3 or 4 extra letters that I added to be able to get somebody talking about me here, another person recommending me here, just to give me a very, very strong application. So those are the letters, okay? And you show evidence to show that you have potential to be future leader in the field. How does that come? Because you've got your past. In geology, I can't remember the guy's name. I think James Hutton that says the past is a determinant or a future to how did they put it? I'll find the quote very well. I did it in first year geology. But the past is giving us like a picture of the future. So what that means is that what you've done in the past is an indication of what they expect you will do in the future. That is why when you apply, they always want to see what exactly have you done? What exactly have you achieved? What exactly is the level of recognition that you've got? Okay, so all of these are going to come as evidence. Okay, now evidence of relevant prize that you've got, award you've got, significant contributions you've made in the field, and all that. All this is what makes what we call your portfolio, what they call your track record. That's what you use to submit for them to have a look. Arts and culture. You could be a leader or a potential here. combine art, dance, literature, music, theater, visual arts, architecture, fashion design, film production, and all that. And the guys that will be looking through your application here, Royal Institute of British Architects, British Fashion Council, Producers Alliance for Cinema and Television. So think about somebody that is a fashion designer like Yomi Casual, for example. I believe many of us who know Yomi Casual that's into this fashion or this other. There's this other guy that makes clothes for people like Burna Boy and Co. I just can't remember the guy's name right now. Now, if or you've been somebody that you do fashion design and your clothes are like in the wrong way, you know, when they do this fashion, this different runway in Paris and different places, your designs are there and you've won some award, some recognition, you can with that actually apply for the UK Global Talent Visa. So all you need to do is to prove people have been engaged with your work, either through appearances, performance, publication, exhibitions. Say you're a music star, Davido, for example. Look at all that he has achieved, for example. Ashake, for example, all that you've achieved either in the nomination, Oscar or Grammy, depends on your category. All of these things are what you can use to demonstrate that you want to apply for the UK Global Talent Visa under this category. Okay, you can also show what you've been doing, and all of these are very key. So, what do you need? Your CV, your motivation statement, letter of recommendation, and up to 10 pieces of evidence showing exceptional talent or promise, depending as the case may be. I mean, I've been maybe nominated for the Grammy before. I've been in this place. I've shut down the Hoto Arena. I've shut down this other space. All of those things are called evidences with which you can actually apply. Say somebody, I'm a comedian, for example, I am Sabinus, for instance, and I want to apply arts and culture. By the time I put in all of my achievements in this area, the recognition I've got in Nigeria, when I was in London, my social media handle, how many persons, and the level of influence I have, when you put all of these things together, you begin to see that, yes, you've got what it takes that you can apply. And I also like to let you know that you don't need to have won all of these things individually. It could be as a team, as a band. So what it means is you're not like the main person, you're like a team of 1, 2, 3, 4. So you have co-achieved these things. It's also another thing you can use for your application. Now, the last one right now, I'm conscious of my time. Dr. Shara, please tell me if I've gone beyond my time allocated. I Please do tell me, do let me know. I can't hear you, but I'm keeping track of my time, keeping good track of my time. But do let me know if you want me to round up.
5 more minutes, please.
Okay, thank you. Now, the digital technology side, you see, if you've worked in what we call product-led IT organization. So that is the key thing here. Okay. The digital has to be product-led. It's not somebody that I've worked in Guaranty Trust Bank. I'm a software developer. That does not necessarily mean you can apply for Global Talent Visa. But if, however, you've worked in Shola Limited, and what Shola Limited does is develops different maybe algorithms or different apps that can solve a niche problem. Say, for example, in sub-Saharan Africa was suffering from mental health. And I know Dr. Shala has done lots of research in area, maybe in public engagement or in community development, and he's done some stuff maybe in mental health. And some of the theory, some of his thoughts, we can infuse it into an algorithm and build a mobile app out of it. That is a product-led IT organization. That is where you have worked. So that person that has worked in Dr. Shala's app that is trying to solve maybe mental health issue using mobile app or digital technology, that one is more grounded to apply for the UK Global Talent Visa. You've worked there only 2 years, you've worked there only 3 years, but you've part of the main guys, the software developer or the maybe the product manager that has worked on this to be able to build, to be able to scale it as well. You can actually apply for Global Talent Visa, unlike a software developer that has been in Guarantee Trust for 10 years. The reason is simple. When you are working in an organization, you are just tech enabled. You're using tech to do what you're doing. It's different from the guy that is developing new tech. Always take note of that difference in this. Okay. And as always, you've got the exceptional talent and the promise category. So if you've been maybe innovation, digital director, founder of digital technology company, or an employee, you are working in a new digital field or concept. You see, that's the main thing. They say new digital field or concept. Not I'm a software developer in guaranteeing trust back. And the question is, so what is the new digital field? We know the bank, they've been using IT for so donkey years. But Dr. Shola is coming with a new digital idea, new digital concept, and that is what you've worked on. That's exactly where global talent sits, not the person that has been working on what we all have already known. So I like to always differentiate these two things when we talk about digital technology. And these are the stuffs that you need to submit. So it's very similar to what I've been talking about all this while. And then I'll wrap it up with the next couple of slides, the things you need to submit. Now, please note this following, that there are some areas that you cannot apply for global talent. If you've just been working in the bank, consultancy, you've been tech enabled, but you are not really in what is called digital, what's that place again? Where we see a new digital field or concept. So here, you've just been working in corporate roles, managing large corporations, you're an analyst, you're an investor, and you have all of these things. This is not where global talent sits. Global talent sits where we talk about product-led new digital concept or idea or development. And wrapping up right now, what's the process? You apply for an endorsement and then you apply for your visa. Okay, you submit it to the UKVI. The UKVI now gives it to the endorsing body. Then they ask you for evidence. You send them the evidence through email. They look at all of these things and they say, yes, we're endorsing you. They send it to the UKVI and the UKVI come to you and say you are successful. Go and apply for your visa. You pay the money for the endorsement and the money for visa. This is just it, except it has changed. You don't need money in the account. You don't need any other thing. So that's the process. Now, if somebody, however, is unsuccessful, you can appeal for them to review. You're not bringing new evidence, but maybe you've not been able to explain some point. They'll review it at no charge. If, however, you don't get it, then you need to put together yourself again, put together your whole application. You pay the money for the second time. That's just it. Letter of recommendation, later I've talked about all the other later, your personal statement, and all the different evidence that you need to supply. Now look at evidence when I was applying, and when was doing my PhD year, I was the top in Scotland in 2017, and I got 2,500 from SPE. I'm associate fellow of the higher education in the UK. When I got my scholarship, when I got my other teaching role, now these are later from other companies that have done some research work with the university, my list of publication, my reference letter, all of those things were evidences that I submitted, amongst other things. Now, what am I going to tell you as I wrap up? Action points. If you want to get UK Global Talent Visa, you need to, number one, succeed in your academics, which is fantastic. Join different societies, professional bodies, and be active because you need to show all of those things in your application. Become ESCO, become committee members, do stuffs, volunteer, and try to get awards where possible. For me, like STEM ambassador for those in that area is very, very great. If you're in AFB, that is fantastic. Publish in peer review journals, and if you have opportunity to review other people's work, jump on it, review other people's work. If there are commercial projects that come to your school and you have opportunity, get involved. All these are the stuff you use to demonstrate yourself as being very, very grounded in research. And write proposals, grant proposal, apply for this. Even if you don't get it, the experience is enough. In my own application, I never got it, but it was part of what I wrote there in my personal statement, writing proposal and trying to get these things. Okay. Now, there are some reasons why people get refusal. Sometimes when you don't show evidence of different other extracurricular activities, like I talked about, different like professional organizations, what you do and all that, or two or even three letters from the related to your immediate employment. You need to get letter from your this area, that area, that area. What I mean is, I'm working in this company, I get letter here, I get the letter maybe from my professional body that I'm volunteering, I get letter from these other places. It shows how vast and how different people say good things about you. Okay. And some persons bring in somebody that, as it were, is not an eminent personality and does not have the capacity to be able to do this job for you. Now, these are some people that got refused, and I've got screenshots of the letter and the reason why people get refused, which I've summarized up above there. And this is what success looks like. This is when I got my endorsement, and this is when another person got endorsement I was dealing with. And this is exactly what it looks like to get the UK Global Talent endorsement. And this is me rounding up. And when it's time for question, I'll be more than happy to respond to questions. Dr. Shala, did I do justice to the conversation?
Thank you so much, Dr. Yakubu. Because of our time, our next speaker will just go straight to him. So we'll come back to Dr. Yakubu. FT, I know you have a guest lecture also before now. I know we have pushed the time, FT, but please, let's just have you, FT, and we'll come back to for questions later.
All right. Good morning, everyone. I just want to be sure that everyone can hear me. And
Yes, we can.
also, Dr. Shala, I would need to confirm if I can share my slide.
Try it. You should be able to. You should be able to. Try it and
Okay.
see. Good. You should be able to.
Okay. So can everyone see the slide?
Yes, we can see it. Yes, we can. If you go to slide mode, then it will be fuller. Presentation mode so that it can be fuller.
Okay. So is it full now?
Yes, it is. So you can start.
Okay. So I think one more challenge is I can't see the slides from my own end. Sorry.
Oh, you can't see from your end.
No, so I can't see. Do I need to do screen extension or something?
No, I don't think so.
Let me try this.
Can you survive with that without seeing the screen?
Just
a
moment. I actually know what is there, so I just need to be sure where I'm at, what slide I'm on, and okay. Just a moment.
I don't know Dr. Akuba, have you stopped sharing?
Yes, I've stopped. Can you still see my screen? I think I've stopped sharing.
Okay, yes, you have.
Okay, so I think let me just okay, so I think I'm almost there. Just a moment.
Okay.
Because what I'm trying to do is to kind of extend the screen so I can have my own monitor feedback, then I have the one for the audience. So that's what I'm trying to do. But I think it would just be better if so let me share now again and see. Just a moment. Then I'll go on the full slide mode. Okay, so can everyone see the slide now?
You can see content too. Okay, yeah, we can see it now. Yeah.
Yes. So
yes, we can.
It's full now, right? Okay, great. All right. Good morning, everyone. Sorry for that little setup glitch. Okay. Thank you so much, Dr. Yakubu. I think he has said almost everything, and if not everything. So it's a little bit tough job for me to do because I'm thinking, how do I navigate through what I want to say? But I think I will try my best. My name is Temitope Falano, fondly called FT, and currently I work as a strategic marketing lead on the KTP program with Leeds Beckett University. So the purpose of this session, I think it's just divinely orchestrated, meeting Dr. Shala to talk about this because one way or the other, I'm here. And I'm actually going to take that approach into this presentation because I will start by saying that not everything that is very popular actually might be for you. what will be for you might take an extra approach of research. And the reason why I'm saying this is because I think I've been on the global talent journey for like 2 years or thereabouts since I came. I actually did my master's in digital marketing, graduated with a distinction and all that stuff. And I knew one thing is it's tough. It's not that it's impossible, but it is tough getting a job in the UK with your previous experience in Nigeria. And one of the things I have I have huge experience in Nigeria, worked at a national level in jobs, and I know that I need to find a way to come in and I need to find a path. And the path really might not be what is very popular. I think I went the divergent route because when I started talking about the program I'm currently on and my global talent that I'm on this program that I'm on, people were like, we've never heard of it before. And by the way, the KTP program, which I'm actually going to talk about in details, actually offers a global talent that gives you 3 years to settlement, not 5 years. So you understand what I'm trying to say. So I started that journey 2024, January. I graduated 2023, and I really wanted to work in the corporate. And either as an academia or working, having a part foot in academia, one foot in academia or in the corporate, I really wanted to do corporate stuff. So I started my research. And I rediscovered that my current experience, which is me working, by the way, I was working in RG as enterprise coordinator. I was using that one to hold my side while I was still stretching forward to where I'm at the moment. I was searching for the sweet spot that can link my current experience to where I want to be. And that I didn't get from probably all the WhatsApp group I've been in. I didn't get it from maybe best of the mentors I've spoken to. It took a personal approach of research. And I'll actually say this, that at the end of this session, and I'm really grateful that there is a platform that this is happening. Don't just listen to what we've said. Go ahead and do your personal research, because it is in that you will find out that, oh, there is something else that maybe we must have missed, or maybe that we spoke about briefly, that your previous experience directly connects to, that will work for you. So let me speak about the global talent, and probably let me talk about how it even works. So when I attended the session, and I mean, just like how Dr. Yakubu has taken us through the session, I learned everything. And the next thing that was on my mind is, if I'm going to do a PhD, that will take me 4 years. That's one. The second one was, I know I'm good at research. I mean, my dissertation was an A, so I knew that I could do research. So if I'm to go the route of being a research assistant, what can I get from it? Can it also help me get this, particular visa that I'm looking for? I thought about that, but to be honest, I didn't fancy that part, because I realized that at the end of the day, it still doesn't take me to where I want to be, which is having one foot in the corporate and having a foot in the academia. That's my personal journey I'm talking about. So then I came across this particular website. Actually, this is the game changer for me. This website, UKRI website, changed my life at that point in time. This explicitly explain what is available. So here you have 4 routes I mean, you have not just 4 hours, sorry. You have about, let me see. You have 4 routes. Yes, sorry. 4 routes explained here. The route 1 is you get a job. You get a job offer as a research assistant, which is what I spoke about earlier. And there, basically, you submit a statement of guarantee from your employer. I think Dr. Yakubu already spoke about that already. There is an award for individual fellowship from UKRI. You get grants to do a research, and I mean, there's a way it's done. You must have hold at least 5 years experience in academia to be eligible for fellowship and all of that. But then the route 3, which is endorse funders grant, is where I sit, and that was what changed it for me. Now, endorse funders grant actually comes under the KTP programs, because for every KTP project that you apply to, which is actually a job, it gives you the opportunity to work in a company and also work in the university. So the university employ you to work in a company while the university guide you on what to do. So then the last one, which Dr. Yakubu spoke extensively about, is the peer review, and as it goes in terms of you looking at what you've done, your portfolio, and you get to have it reviewed by the endorsing body. Now I'm going to talk about the KTP program itself in detail. What is KTP? So KTP is a unique 3-way collaboration between businesses, university, and a talented graduate or a postgraduate. So by the way, you don't need to have a PhD to be on a KTP job. You don't need to at least a minimum of a master's degree, yes. And I'm sure almost everyone has a master's degree, because most people actually came through the master's program. So KTP is also called the UK Best Kept Secret. And it's actually called that for many reasons. We are currently celebrating the 50th anniversary of KTP. And currently, there are over 800 businesses, over 100 knowledge bases, and over 800 graduates that has gone on it. Now, one other thing I wanted to use to discard myself was when I went to the website after knowing about KTP. When I wanted to start applying for the KTP job, everything that I saw there were things related to data science, lab technology, things like that that were not in my field. I mean, I did digital marketing. I studied digital marketing. That's my field. So the challenge is, how do I get a KTP that is in line with what I study, and how can I apply for it for me to be successful on it? So then the journey began. So there's something called, I told you, research. There's something called innovation KTP, and there's something called management KTP. I'm currently on management KTP. If you look at KTP from outside, the only thing you will see is KTP. But when you do your research folder, by the way, before I could apply, I spoke to 2 people who have completed KTP program. And by the way, also, in as much as I had the feeler that, oh, they might sponsor you on a KTP job, some people said skilled worker. I never knew the possibility of a global talent that actually leads you to settlement in 3 years. I never knew that fully. So I spoke with 2 ex-KTP, one in RG, 2 in RGU, one in marketing, and the other person in data science. So I requested a time with them, and they gave me the lowdown, and they said something like, oh, the application is very, very tedious, but if you can get in, the benefit is endless. So I started the application journey. One of the reasons why you don't see me on the flyer, and I explained to Pastor Shola that one of the reasons why I requested not to be on the flyer for this event is because I saw the hand of God in play as I move along. Sorry, I'm a Christian, so I share my faith and how that actually influenced what I saw God in playing what happened. So I applied all through. I applied the excellence routes. I understood everything. I got the interview. By the way, after knowing what KTP is about, I've explained it just now. I started the application process, and one of the things that jumped out for me was that, as you've been told, it's tedious. So you cannot afford to give up. So I got to the first interview, first stage. They didn't get back to me. They got back to me like a month later, and they told me, "Oh, we are sorry, you're not going on." Then I applied to Leeds Beckett. Then I got to the last stage of Leeds Beckett. I actually thought I'd got the job because I mean, I killed it. You know what I mean? Like, we killed it, yes. When I got to the train going back to Aberdeen, they told me, unfortunately, but something happened, which actually I will set it as a foundation. I requested for a feedback, and they gave me feedback on my performance. And at the end of that feedback, this is actually what got me on this job I'm on at the moment. They said, will you be open for us to reach out to you when there's a new project? And I said yes. I wasn't hungry. I didn't play the card of, oh, they choose their own person above me. No, I said, call me. And I went ahead, I applied again. I got to the last stage. And this time with a better company than the one I was in before, that I applied to before. And the journey started. Now, one thing you need to know is, aside from the way the KTP is structured, there's an associate, which is me. There is a company, which is the company I currently work with, and there's a university, which is my university, which is Leeds Beckett University. Leeds Beckett employ me and pay me, and I work inside that company. So there is a way your working relationship works in such a way that you report to different people. So you manage that project for 2 years. And after 2 years, the company chooses to keep you. Is a choice. You can choose to stay with the company, or you can choose to move on to other things, as it were. Basically, the project always lasts for maybe between 12 to 36 months, depending on the one you get on. And there's a lot of projects. I'm going to show us the website where we can apply as I move on to the next slide. Sorry, my presentation is not a structured approach. I'm just trying to make it a conversational style so we can all understand where I'm coming from. And another thing you will encounter as you apply is you will see a lot of UKRI. Now, UKRI is UK Research and Innovation. They are the one that funds the KTP. So UKRI actually is your endorsing body for your global talent. So when you want to start the process, your university will tell you whatever visa you're on, because that's what happened to me. They saw my graduate visa and they were like, no, you can't start the job until we change your visa. I didn't ask for it. The university said it. So they were like, no, you can't start the job. We have to change your visa before you start the job. And I'm like, who am I? And and I can't reject. They were like, okay, fine. Because I still have one year left on my graduate visa. And they were like, they went ahead, they changed my visa. So I had the new visa before I resigned from my old job, even before I started. So, and that was it. And you will see a lot of UKRI. They serve as the endorsing body. So when you start the process, your offer letter from the job and the letter of grant of the project is the only two documents that you need for endorsement. For the university, so the university gives you an offer letter. That offer letter alone is what you need. And the second thing that you need is the document that they use to apply for the money that will run the project. So that means part of it is your salary, part of it is every other money that goes inside. So those are the two documents that you need. You take that to UKRI. UKRI give you an endorsement, then you take that to Home Office, and Home Office give you a visa for 3 years. The next thing I would like to talk about is the job in itself. Like I said, this is the website for the KTP jobs. This is the website where you can apply. Now, don't say, oh, I didn't graduate with distinction. Don't say, oh, I didn't, because one of the other thing that I will say is whatever you graduate with, if you can prove that you are a worthy associate to the KTP interview panel, that's the only thing that you need. And that's why this route is unique. Because once the university gives you the job, it's automatic. Yeah, I can hear you, sir. Can you hear me?
So can you please your screen again because thank you.
Okay.
There was
can you
a glitch.
Okay.
Glitch.
Okay.
So if you can start sharing again, please. Thank you.
Okay, sorry. I just want to confirm. Can everyone still hear me?
Yes, we can hear you.
Yes, we can hear you.
Okay. Okay. All right. Okay. So, so I'm actually going to speak. Here's the
Stop
social.
sharing and reshare again, please.
Okay, great. Let me do that. Okay, so can everyone see the slide now? Because currently I don't know what's going on.
Yeah, we can see it.
Okay. It's not even going into the full slide mode, so I don't know. Okay.
We here cannot see, but those online, can you can see the slide here on the side. We cannot see the slide. We just see him.
I can see the slide.
We cannot even see him. We can't see you.
Wow. You can wait. Can you see me now?
Oh, but I was seeing him before.
No, I can't see you online.
Can you see me now?
I see before. No.
We could see you before someone said we can't see you.
Okay, now we can see you, but we cannot see the slide yet.
Okay, so let me reshare the slide then, so that this can come up.
Now I can't see you.
I'm trying to reshare the slide.
I can see the slides.
Okay, so I think.
Okay, what we'll do?
I think
FT.
Yes.
FT.
Yes, I
Yes.
can hear you.
If you make the slides available.
Definitely.
If you make the slides available to us, that we can share among those who are.
No worries.
So you hear you.
If everybody can hear my voice, let me just probably round up with this. Then probably I'll wait for the if there is any questions. But I want to talk about finding the job itself, because that's where the key thing is. So basically, the KTP jobs don't stay so long on the website, at max a month, and they take it off. Sometimes 2 weeks. It depends on how the urgency. Now, one thing you might also find is that different universities have their different requirements in terms of who they want. So let me explain like who they want. Some universities might actually want their students to be on it as a proof of, student support. So probably they will be looking out for outstanding graduates and They will be looking out for best graduating students that can progress to the KTP program. But one thing that is unique also about it is that there are some other uni who do not really care. And they don't also care about your years of experience, because my uni currently, I think I was speaking to my supervisor. By the way, you will have a supervisor from the universities. Like, you have an academic supervisor, you have a company supervisor. So my supervisor from the uni, she told me that the oldest person that she has recruited on the KTP program is 54 years. So age is not a barrier. So what they care about the most is your capability to carry out the project, is your ability to deliver on what is expected, and if there is a match between you and the project at hand. So another thing I want to say is, because I'll be showing us some pictures after now, and probably the picture will speak for itself, so you know the variety of people that apply to the KTP program itself. Don't discard yourself. Give it a shot. Apply and be consistent in your application. Take guidance on the application. So if you think that you can't go the route of gathering evidence and all of that, KTP job is a good job that you can get that will help you solidify what you've studied out in your master's in a company. And also the extra perk actually is the visa, because I mean that comes with it as well. But aside from that, you'll also be able to solidify what you've learned. Currently on the KTP job, as part of my learning and development, I have a dedicated £4,000 that I can use to take any course anywhere I choose to. It's part of the project as well. If you choose to travel abroad, which is part of your project, the project supports it as well. So there is huge value that goes to the associate. And one other thing I want to say, which I really want to end on the note by thanking Dr. Shola for this, is the fact that we are having a community discussion, and we have, when I mean community discussion, I mean most people here are from Nigeria and probably other parts of Africa as it is. And one thing that I would say is, when you look at people from the other communities and ethnic communities that are available here, I mean, the information spread wider. So on my cohort that I went for, there's a training that we do from Innovate UK at Ashton Hill. I discovered that the people from Indian, Pakistan and all that stuff, they've got the information, Iran and all that stuff. They've got the information and they do it more than we do. I mean, I'm talking about the KTP, not even the other one. So if you notice, you have more Indians. And there's a lady here, Charlotte. Charlotte is the oldest among us. So that's why I said age is not a barrier. So Charlotte is the oldest among us, and we are of different variety of age. Some of the people are people just concluding PhD who want to have experience. Most people here, everyone here actually has a master's degree. So if you did a master's program and you're looking for a way to solidify it, check also KTP might be the way for you, instead of probably going straight into a PhD. And, at the end, probably something best might come out of it. Thank you so much, Dr. Chola, for my time, because I don't know how else to say this. I try as much as possible not to go the general slide. I just want to have a conversation about it. And I believe probably I've been able to help someone today. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, FT. Sam, are you available? Sam, are you around? Our third speaker, I'm just trying to see if he's around for us to do. But before we take our third speaker, I just want to buttress just two things. I'm trying to see Sam if he's available. It was supposed to come in at 11:30 because of other things also. Now, to buttress the point, Dr. Yakubu mentioned about if you are in academia, exceptional academia. I have a friend she was in Covenant University, but she has a YouTube channel where she talks about econometrics from Covenant University. And her YouTube channel has 1 million views. And that was what she used. That's what we talk about the issue of what contribution are you talking about. So just what you're doing. So some of the things like we talk about what you do online on social media that you think that does not really count are actually social proof of the impact that you're making on the industry or on the field that you're working in. So these things do count of that. So FT, thank you so much. And interestingly enough, again, FT is working with us on a project. FT is a group of people working with us, working with the bridge to solve a problem when it comes to employability. That project is, and that's how we came to work. It's part of the team working on that. So the issue of portfolio mentioned earlier about products, which Dr. Yakubu mentioned also, you can, if you have experience, you can look around and see what can you develop for organizations. What can you bring to help organizations? He has mentioned the issue of app. Do you have coding skills? Do you have knowledge of programming? Can you talk about something? Because the innovator visa, a lot of people, which I don't want to speak ahead of Sam. Sam would be able to speak to that. Sam, are you there? So I will just go straight into that. Let me just keep. solutions. 967 1235. So while we wait for Samuel, do we have questions online? We have 39 of us online, and we have some people here on site. Do we have any question we can take while we wait for Samuel?
I do have a question.
Please go ahead.
Right. I want to ask for the global talent visa, is it possible to try to gather evidence within a year and still apply within a year to qualify?
So the answer is yes. Can you hear me, Dr. Shela? Please confirm. They can hear my response.
Yes.
I also can hear you, sir.
Oh, lovely. So if I want to just give a generic answer, the answer is yes. You can start to gather evidence within a year. But the question I'm going to ask is this: do you mean that your track record is going to be a 1-year lifespan? If the track record you want to demonstrate is going to be a 1-year lifespan, that might not be robust enough. And by that, what I mean is, you want to demonstrate you've got a track record. So the track record is not just a one-time thing. It should be an history. It should be a track record. So that's all I'm trying to say. So you want to make sure it's something, a person that you've done research within the past couple of years. You've done this one, you did it 2 years ago. The other thing you are evidencing maybe 1 year ago, the other one 6 months ago, that kind of a thing. It's not like everything you write about yourself is just 6 months old. It's going to show like you're really, 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 really new in this thing. Do you understand what I'm trying to say?
Yes, I do. Thank you.
Yes. But if you have it in more specific terms, I'm also happy to listen and to respond appropriately.
Okay. Do you want me to go specific on this right now?
If you want to, I don't mind. I think Dr. Shola has given us time to have conversation. So no problem at all. I'm all here.
Okay, so I'm interested in the global talent visa, although what I do have cuts across different areas. I run. Am I able to talk a bit about what I do while to buttress my question? Is that okay?
If Dr. Shola doesn't mind, that's fine. It's going to give me more context to respond.
Is that okay, Dr. Shola?
Yeah, yeah.
Okay,
Right.
so fine. I run some sort of a media tech business, which I've run for over 12 years. Also in the creative sector.
Okay.
And I also work as a voice acting director, which I've worked across East and West Africa. I recently applied for the Global Talent Visa, and it was rejected. It was rejected on the basis that I applied as a voice acting and casting director. It was rejected on the basis that voice acting is not part of is not accepted on the arts. Even though I did apply as a voice acting director, not necessarily as a voice actor, but yes, that was the. I also am a poet as well, which I do have a large body of work, which doesn't really go out there much because it's not what I spend time on.
Yeah.
So I've been, but then it's also connected to what I do. And when you talk about as a voice acting director, I do have a large body of work which cuts across the African continent. Yeah. So I'm now trying to look at it if I want to put out my poetic work more and go on the poetry, which is the reason why I asked if the body of work is within 1 year. Although I can find a way to connect it to what I do, which I've also produced things around poetry in the past. So that's the reason why I asked the question.
Okay. All right, I get that clearly now. So the thing is, since you've already applied and they've given you a sort of feedback and you recognize where the gap is, if you want to go through the other route, you can definitely do that because you've got an history in that. And what I would recommend is, even if you're going in this direction, your other success in other things, you can also add those things because they all make up your collective success. So you can add all of those things, even though that is not the direction, the main area you are using for your application, you've got enough with what you're using, but the other things that are also things that makes you successful, you can add all of those things. So you definitely can go in that direction. Yes, that's something you definitely can do. I think you've got what is really required for you to get a global talent with the short brief you've just stated. You just need to take that feedback they've given you that was not successful, and now the poetic direction you want to go, you need to look at stuff like, have you got some awards and recognition in this area? It's very, very key because they want to see how far and wide your work has gone, and any sort of recognition or award that you've got historically in this area. That will be very, very key. Very, very key for your application in this area of arts and culture.
And
Okay.
Dr. Yakubu, just to buttress the point, it can also begin to create portfolios by looking for people in university and run events, run issues on projects, community events, and just to have some portfolio of something he's doing in the UK. So everything is not just coming from Africa. Does that make sense?
Yes, yes. And even publication, as Dr. Shola said, there are lots of things you can do in academia. Like even if you are applying for digital technology, like the guys that I work with, you can also use publication, research publication as ways to beef your application. It's also accepted even in digital technology as well. So any sort of publication or maybe conference presentation, it could also be very, very good area to look at partnering with universities to be able to push that. I see a question in the chat. Somebody says, how many research papers do you have to show for the research? Now, there is no amount, I tell you. Okay? You know, when I was sharing my screen, I mean, apologies, at some point I had to rush a little bit. But if you look there, you would see that the only one that I put published is actually one. The other ones were submitted, under review, under development. And when I got my own, I know somebody that has finished the PhD before me and has got more publications and did not get endorsement. I know somebody that's lecturer that's been lecturing with publication, did not get endorsement. So there is no mark as to say you need to have 5 or 3 or 4 research publications. It all depends on how robust your portfolio is. I look at it as what you call a multi-criteria decision algorithm system, where there's lots of things you need to demonstrate. So if you've got one very, very heavy and you don't demonstrate anything in the other one, you likely won't get. Now, what that means is this: you've got 5 publications and there's no other thing you can demonstrate. You probably won't get it, but you have 5 publications. You've been involved in lots of mentoring, maybe STEM ambassador. You've been involved in doing stuff, maybe speaking, and what they call it is promoting your area outside your core job. You've been doing all of those stuff, and you've got one sort of recognition or award or the other. All of these things come together in your application. You see these conversations that we're having now online, and in my own group, as at my church, I'm a campus leader by the grace of God, and I do programs. When I was applying, the program I did during COVID should be 2019 or 2020, and it's on YouTube. I copied the URL and I put it in my application, trying to tell them that besides the fact that I said I've got distinction in masters, I'm doing research or I'm teaching, I'm also doing lots of community relations. You know what Dr. Shola does a lot. I'm not like him. He's an icon in that area, but we're following, doing gradually. So the URL was part of my application. So what that means is that the endorsing body are able to see that I'm telling them that besides the fact that I'm working, I'm a researcher, I'm also promoting knowledge. I'm also disseminating information and knowledge. And this is me speaking. And then it has got, I can't remember how many views, but those were quantifiable information that was part of my application. I wrote it that it's got this number of views and all that. And to let you know, it's actually my church YouTube channel. And I didn't mind that they will see other church or gospel things there, but I copied the specific one that they will see my face, they will see me talking. All of these things means that I was able to put together a kind of robust personality that they see that if it is research, I'm there. If it is public engagement, I'm there. If it is maybe speaking, I'm there. So that's the way you want to do it. It's not just have publication. You need to have other things. Dr. Shola, please let me know when you want me to shut up, please.
Thank you. Yes, thank you so much. Our last speaker is in. Sam, if you, thank you so much.
Yeah, hello. Sorry, my camera is off though. I hope you don't mind.
Okay.
Can you hear me?
Yes, we can hear you, Sam. I'm trying to. Okay, good. I'm trying to spotlight you. So before Sam goes on, before Sam starts, one of the things that we are from, where we are bad is that we don't integrate, and that's it's affecting us. We just go for program, go for masters, finish the masters, and then what? And then when they're asking about your life of integration, we don't have anything. Even when you say you are volunteering in church, if you are not known, and it's affecting us. So if you are going to be applying for some of these things, you need to have a life, what you are doing in the community. You need to be doing something. You need to begin to have those things documented of the value you are adding in the community. Children in the community, women in the community, women groups, men groups. What are the things that you are bringing and adding? And those things are, because anything you are, I remember just before you, Samuel comes on, there was a time I was having issue with visa and I had 6 days left to leave this country, and I was thinking what to do. And then I got an immigration lawyer, and the next the immigration lawyer was asking is portfolio of evidence. of what is being done in the community. But because I've been doing things from just being who I am, I've been doing a lot of stuff in the community. I can get this, I can get that, I can get that, I can get that, I can get all those things together. So it's not because you are waiting for the evil doomsday, so to speak. It must be a consistent life of how can I add value to the community where I am is the critical thing. And we that are from where we are from, we are lacking in that aspect. So on that note, Mr. Samuel Anjorin.
Okay.
Your side.
Okay, thank you, Mr. Shola. Yep. So my name is Samuel Anjorin, right? I know our previous speaker has spoken a lot about the Global Talent Visa, which is the route, right? And similar to the Innovator Founder Visa, which I'll be talking about. So just to introduce myself again, my name is Samuel Anjorin. I am in the UK with something called the Innovator Founder Visa. And I will just try to give a backstory on how this whole visa route came about. Now, so before now, we have something called, which is the Global Talent Visa. But under the Global Talent Visa, they have different endorsement bodies like the Tech Nation and Co, right? Which is for the tech guys and the rest of them. And there was something called the Startup Visa. So Startup Visa is if you're interested in setting up a business in the UK, right? Any kind of business, you just need to apply for the visa, and then if they grant it, that is good. But there was a very strong condition. What was the condition? You must have £50,000 in your account when you are applying for the Startup Visa. So, and that Startup Visa has been for a long time. But what the UK discovered is that they were losing talent from setting up companies in the UK. For example, people were moving to other European countries and the US. So UK came together and say, okay, instead of us investing too much on Tech Nation visa stuff, let us pool the funds and try to improve the something called the Startup Visa. So what they did was to create a new form of startup visa called Innovator Founder Visa, right? The difference is that the £50,000 is no longer a requirement, all right? And if you ask me, it's one of the most easiest visas to get if you have intentions in starting up a business in UK. The beautiful thing, I will tell you the benefits, I'll tell you the cons, right? Part of the benefit is that if you get an Innovator Founder Visa, the route to citizenship is max 4 years. Route to ILR is 3 years, right? It's straightforward. You don't unlike the Global Talent Visa, which is great, right? You don't have to get recommendations from anybody. You don't even have to you just prepare a business plan, right, and let it be innovative, right? And the beautiful thing about the UK coach system is that what the UK is doing is that they're creating an enabler environment where businesses can succeed, right? Whereby they can get investment, can get funds from different part of there are a lot of investors in the UK. There's a lot of people who are ready to invest in your business, especially in the UK, even the UK government. A lot of grants that UK government are giving businesses for them to succeed. So they're trying every effort to ensure that businesses succeed in the UK, because when businesses succeed, what it means is that the economy is better, people get more jobs, people are paid better, right? And as a result, it creates a good it helps people, and in terms of economy, that's the long story short. So UK is trying everything in their capacity to bring in more business into the UK, and that's why they make the route very easy, right? Yes. So if you're interested in the visa, you need to have it in mind that you're not just coming into here to just enter the UK. You want to really set up a business. That is number one. You need to have that in mindset that you really want to set up a business in the UK. And number two is that if you have the visa, you don't need to depend on any employee or any employer. For example, the visa allows you to work for another employer in the UK for as long as you want. You can be doing your own business and also working for another employer. It's allowed in the visa route, in innovator visa. So what it means is that you can be doing your small business and also be doing your 9 to 5. Nobody cares, right? It's allowed in the visa. But the good thing about it is that if you're able to do your part, which I will explain later, then in 3 years, you should be looking at ILR. In 4 years, obviously, you should be looking at citizenship. Now, let me explain further what are the requirements. As I said earlier, it is more around business, right? So you prepare a business plan. There are endorsements, just like you have the Global Talent Visa. It's the same thing with Innovator Founder Visa. You prepare a business plan. Say, okay, I want to start a business in the UK, right? And this is my business plan. The business plan is and you go to an endorsement body. There are several endorsement body. I use Investor, right? But there are several several endorsement bodies. So you just pick anyone, then you go through the phases. You share your idea with them, like they'll give you a form to fill, and you share your idea with them on what you want to build and why you feel is innovative, right? And why you feel is scalable, why you feel is a great idea, right? Once you share it with them, they will review your idea and they'll tell you if it's something that that can fly or that can be as endorsable, right? Yes, there's a bit of a con that if they don't endorse you, you have to apply for it. I think it's cost. I think it's been a while. I think it's £1,000. If you're in the UK, it's £1,000 plus 200 tax, which is like 1,200, which is a risk. It's a gamble. If you throw it in and they say, okay, well, we like your idea, we want to hear more about it. Now, the good thing about it is that there's a lot of high, people are getting good results around it because UK government is funding it. So because as UK government is funding it, they have a lot of money to fund the whole visa route program. So if you throw in your idea and it's accepted, right, then the next phase is to develop a business plan. They'll give you a portal that will allow you to put in your business plan and the rest of them. So like I say, it's all about business. So what are the factors that will help your application? Number one, the same thing the previous speaker spoke, your profile, right? Like your profile about who are you. I think most, if I'm not mistaken, over 70% of people, migrants that came into the UK in the last few years came in through masters, right? Now you studied masters, right? If you want to do a business, how can you fashion your business into your master program? For example, if you want to business if you just finish school and you want to, you're looking for sponsorship or you want to do a business. For example, if I did masters in I don't know, masters in anything, masters, find a way to say, okay, I have a master's in this and I feel I'm prepared to run a business on this. I'm qualified to run a business on this. Or maybe you have working experience about what you want to work on, what you want to build, right? What you want to develop your business. For example, if you are into producing anything, maybe in Nigeria, in anywhere in the world, and you feel like you want to now duplicate that idea in the UK, because you have done it before, it's easy to add to your portfolio. Like, okay, this is what I have done, right? So they just need to believe that you are able to build it. For example, I'll tell you what I'm building, right? I'm a tech person, so what I'm building is techish, right? So I don't get bored. But there's a problem in the UK which the mental health is becoming a serious concern, right? I can give you an example. Like, I think 1 in 4 persons in the UK, not just citizens, 1 in 4 persons in the UK every year have a mental breakdown. So if that's a serious problem, right? And we are trying to find a way to solve that problem. Like, okay, and the problem about it is that, okay, if 1 in 4 persons in the UK have mental problem, right? But what if there's a solution? That would have be a major problem, right? But because when you have a mental problem in the UK and you want to see an NHS psychiatrist, it will take you 18 weeks. So it means that if someone is running mad and you have to wait for 18 weeks to see a therapist, right? So you become a danger to yourself, you become a danger to your environment, you become a danger to your family, you become a danger to the public, right? So it's a problem. So the question is, how do you manage your mental illness until you're able to see an actual therapist? So that's where I come in. That's where my startup is building. We are building a small AI stuff, right? Don't get hooked. That will help you, more like a chat conversational, that will help you manage this stuff. Pending the time, you're able to see the doctor. And the idea is that we're able to analyze your own issue to see how urgent you need the care. So we're able to find a way to sync with the NHS to know that, oh, this person has high urgent need of this person has low urgent need of this. So it's able to help people who needs urgent attention to get quick attention, right? But apart from that, also help you manage this mental health so that it does not get worse before you see a psychiatrist. That's what I'm working on, right? I say earlier, I'm a tech person. That's what I know how to do. I'm a tech person. There are other people who are just into different kind of stuff, but the business can work, right? So please bear with me when I talk about tech, because I am a tech guy. So I just find a way to use tech to solve problems. So now, if you are into business in anywhere around the world, right, and you feel that business can work in the UK, the question you should ask yourself is the business innovative? Is the business scalable, right? And you feel like, okay, how can I make this business how can I make the business innovative? Right now, off the roof of my head, at the top of my head, when the word called innovative, people will introduce technology. Okay, I'm not a technology person. For example, I'm going to give an example. Maybe you're into buying and selling. Maybe you're into producing African wares. Oh, don't get me wrong. There are people who produce African wares that got the innovator founder visa, right? There are people who produce clothes, right? So don't take it that must always be tech, right? But what you can do is that ask yourself, how can I make it innovative? I'm not a tech person, so I can get a tech partner. Someone who just finished masters in maybe in UK that's also is looking for a visa and also want to start a business. You can get a partner. May I have a partner? I have a psychiatrist. I have a business person. That's also my partner. So I am the tech guy. I have 3 partners. So I will try to make it very fast. I was just trying to. So I have 3 partners. So when it helped my profile when I was applying, they were asking me, oh, if the others, for example, I had someone in Nigeria that actually should have gotten it, but she was not just interested. She's my partner. They will ask her to apply since they give it to me, but she just does not want to come to the UK. Not everyone likes the UK, right? But it's her profile boosts my application because she has she's an accountant with I think she has ACCA certified. She also so her profile boosts my application. So I have someone, my other partner, she's a psychiatrist, she's a psychologist, right? So that's also, I'm a tech guy, psychologist, and a business guy. So we are like form a team. And I applied and it worked for me, right? The other person was not interested. She does not just not want to come to the UK. So she didn't apply. Even though they requested her to apply so that to get. But what I'm trying to establish to you is that you don't have to have all the skills, right? You just look at what do I have as a strength? Am I a business person? Am I a tech person? Do I have experience in this field? Then if yes, then get people who have those other skills, come together and apply. There's high tendency that by the grace of God, he gets it, right? But back to my point, is that the visa is great. It's very, very very fantastic visa. I've seen people who lose their job while working on the visa, and they did not flinch because you're not scared at 3 months, 4 months. No, because the visa is you're allowed to be in the country for 3 years to work if you want to work and to do your business. So you're not bound to any employer. You're not bound to any other. You're only bound to your business, right? But please, there's a kind of a caution in it because some people may have the business, might have the visa, and they say that, oh, I'll just be using that, I'm just be working, they won't do the business. Okay, there is what the UK do. So you write a report about how your business is improving every month. Then at the end of 1 year, you do an interview with the endorsement body to know how far you've built your business. And I will use myself as an excuse. I will use myself as an example. I really did not do much last year. Like when I got the visa last year, the whole of the year I did not do anything. And it nearly cost me the visa, right? Because now I'm very serious with it. But the first year it was terrible because I didn't do much. I was focusing on work. But right now I'm building it. So, and I'm very serious with it, right? But I'm just telling you that they monitor your business, and because they don't want you to have the visa, they want you to ensure that you are doing what actually say you want to do. which is the business. So you literally need to build the business, right? And it's not so. So as you're building the business, right? For you, when you get to the third year, for you to get your ILR, right? There are conditions for you to get your ILR. There are conditions, right? After 3 years, they expect you that in 3 years, right? If you're able to have a business in 3 years, they expect you that you'll be able to employ, is it 5 people in the UK, right? And pay them the, minimum wage in the UK, at least for 1 year. So meaning that for the first 2 years, you can use that to run your business personally. But you need to get, and the third year, they expect that maybe, and the third year, it's second to third year, that you should have at least 5 people that you have employed, right? There are other conditions. Don't get me wrong. There are other conditions, but just that I'm talking about the easiest one. The first one is employ 5 people after 3 years that are going to pay the minimum wage. Or if you're not qualified, if you don't have that, if you're not ready in the third year, you can always ask them that, oh, I'm not ready. They'll ask you to renew your visa. So meaning that you're not ready for ILR, maybe you can always renew your visa for another 3 years until between the period when you are ready. So if you are ready in the 4th year, you can say, okay, I'm done in 4th year, I want to convert my visa to ILR. If you're ready in the 5th year, so it depends on when are you ready for you to apply for your ILR, right? So if you're not able to achieve your aim in 3 years, fine. If you're able to achieve it in 4 or 5 years, you can always convert your stuff to your ILR. But you cannot gamble the system. You must do the business, and you got allowed also do your 9 to 5 if you want to. But also remember that the condition is that you should be able to have your business after 3 years should be able to have employed 5 people and pay them the minimum wage for 1 year. Then, or if that's the case, if you don't achieve that, you can push it to any time you're able to achieve it, right? If you achieve it in the 5th year, the 6th year, it's fine. But it's only when you achieve it that you can apply for ILR. Yeah. So that is it. And then the other conditions is that in the period when you want to apply for your ILR. So if it's 3 years, if it's 5 years, if it's 6 years, the total money you should have spent in your business, the total money that you have spent in your business in that period should have at least be equal to £50,000. So meaning that if you calculate all your, you're buying A, you're buying B, you're buying C, you're paying salary, you're doing this, your transportation, your this, your that, every money you spent in the space of 3 years or 5 years or 6 years, or to the time you want to apply for your ILR, must be minimum £50,000, right? So if you want to apply for your ILR in the 6th year, meaning that in the 6 years of running your business, you should have spent like £50,000. I think last year for my own business, my own business last year, I think I spent around 8K, right? So, but what I'm just saying is that when you want to apply for your ILR, it should be known that, okay, I have achieved this, and now it's the time to apply for the ILR, right? So that is it. I don't know if I missed any other thing, but as I said earlier, the visa is one of the most awesome visas. I've seen the benefit of it. I'm expressing the benefit of it, right? And it's very respectable, even if you are going UK immigration. Once you get to the UK immigration, once they see that, oh, you're an innovator founder visa, it makes you feel like you're a special person, right? But I said earlier, it's a good visa, but it comes with its own stringent conditions, right? The global talent is okay if you're able to get global talent. If you ask me, I don't think there's any other review after global talent. You just get it once. But for innovator founder visa, they made it so enticing because if you're able to achieve it, you're able to like get your settlement very fast. But at the same time, it comes with conditions which you must meet, so you cannot game the system. So the question is, are you ready to run a business in the UK? That does not mean that you cannot work. You can work 9 to 5. You can do your normal stuff, but you just have to have a business, and the business should be scalable. I think that will stop at that. Thank you. If there's any question for me.
Sorry, thank you. There was a question that came online now. What's the cost implication? So I think, Mr. Samuel, if you just take note of it, we'll take all the questions, then you can respond. So it makes it much more efficient. Is that okay?
Okay, it's fine. So, okay,
Sam,
what's the yes,
so the first question, is cost. Then
cost.
second question, listen to the second question.
It's 2 in 1. Like the maximum partner you can have for this business visa, and if the partner, if approved, if any of them are okay to stay with their dependents.
Oh, good question.
So go ahead, Sam. I will come back to that because there are two
Okay,
questions already.
let me start
The first one
with
is what's the cost implication? Cost implication, the first one. Second
yeah.
one, the number of partners. The third one, if you have a family person, one of the partners has family person,
Can any of the two partners, are they okay to have their dependent with them?
I said the visa is one of the most awesome visas you can have because there's no limit to how many partners you can have, but it is minimum standard wise reasonable. Like just if you ask me out my head, if you can have 3, it's fine. I don't know if you're having 4. You can have 4, but I don't know. 3 looks like standardly okay, right? If you can have 4, fine, but there's no maximum. The most important is that each person must contribute something unique. So you cannot say we are doing the same thing, right? So if you see my case, I have a business person we have SEMA, right? With like Chartered Institute of Management Accounting. I have someone who's into a psychiatrist, right? I am a tech person. So each of us are bringing something unique to the table. And please bear with me. And you must know each other, right? There are 2 ways. All you need to do is either meet yourself, take a picture of yourself. Oh, that's enough because I sent a picture of myself and people because when I'm applying to the UK government, I have to prove that we know ourselves. So we're not just people that come together randomly and met ourselves online and applying for it. No, I literally have to send pictures of myself and what we have done together and send a picture to them, right? So you must know yourself. If you are going to university together, fantastic, good time. I mean, we went to the university together. There's a proof that we went to the university together, right? So it's you just need to know each other. So the number of dependents, if you have 20 children and 20 wives, forgive me, you can bring all of them in. The visa covers them. If you have the money to pay for their visa, the visa is about 1,400 per person. Yeah, like the visa is about 1,400. So if you have money to bring your as many dependents, once you can prove that you're dependent, you can bring as thousands as space. You can bring as forgive me. There's no website link now that says that there's a limit to the number of dependents you can bring, right? So there's no limit to that. But my point is that it can allow you to be it can allow you to bring your dependents right to the UK. So with that 4 of you, 3 of you, you are allowed to bring your dependent, right? There's no limitation around that. There's also another question that says around what is the cost implication. Well, it depends. I say it also depends on your several factors, right? For me, I told you for the application, it's a gamble in all fairness, right? When I applied for the endorsement, before they endorsed me, the first thing to verify my idea that it makes sense, right? I paid £1,000 because I was in the UK. I had to pay 200 pounds as tax, so it's making £1,200 £1,200 for the application to verify my idea, right? Before I pay that money, right? I have verified that there's no how in heaven they will tell me that my idea will not work. So I was sure that my idea I was presenting is not because I'm emotional, right? Because when I was presenting the idea, I showed them numbers. Like I'm talking to you right now. I told you that 1 in 4 people in the UK have mental breakdown every year. That's actual numbers. I can verify online, right? And I explained to you how I plan to solve the problem. So it's something that is relatable, something that no one can. I say, okay, based on the numbers, it can work, right? So your idea should work. ChatGPT is your friend. It will help you get your analysis down properly. Go in there. When I was applying, it's ChatGPT. Not the truth. In fact, the idea itself, forgive me, ChatGPT. I was just looking like, okay, how can I even benefit from this visa? So, but as I said earlier, you just need to ensure that you are qualified for that business, and you also need to ensure that when you're presenting your application, right, you are not emotional. Like someone I said, oh, I believe this business will succeed. I believe we will make £1,000 every day. How do you plan to make that money? How do you plan to run your business? How do you plan to get customers? Everything is important, right? So you need to be able to say, okay, this problem you are having, is it actually a problem? Where can I see this problem online? For example, if you are dealing with health, you have to go to UK government health website. If you are dealing with anything, they need to find that problem statistic somewhere, right? So yeah, back to the question about cost, right? The 1,200 is the initial cost. If you're applying outside UK, if you're not in the UK and you're applying outside UK, you just only pay the 1,000. You don't pay the tax, which is the 200 pounds. You only pay the 1,000 pounds, right? The cost of the visa is 1,400 dollar per person, pounds, sorry, per person, right? So if you have dependents, you also need to know that the cost also multiplies based on the number of dependents you have. For children, it is not up to 1.4, it's like 1.1, 1.2 or so, right? For children dependents, which other one again? Your IHS, unfortunately you have to pay 3 years IHS, right? Because sorry, sorry, it's breaking.
The IHS has 3 years.
Yes, IHS you have to pay 3 years because they expect
the IHS have to pay 3 years.
Yes, because they expect you to convert to ILR after 3 years. But if you can't convert after 3 years, you need to now renew your visa for another 3 years, right? So that's why you have to pay IHS for 3 years. Which other thing again? Yeah, I think that is it. That is just it. There's a cost. It's similar to
Samuel, can your relative be a partner?
Good question. Good question. They asked me that question too. If why do applying for that? They asked me the question if my family members was a partner, but they were not. So I said no. So I don't know the weight of that. I don't know if it's positive. I don't know if it's negative. Please, I just say they asked me the question: is any of your partners a family members? And I said no. So,
I think you want to use family. So somebody is asking, can your idea, must the business be in the UK? Can you do it as a business in Indonesia, for example?
Sorry?
Or
I didn't hear the question, please.
The business solution, must it be in the UK, or can it be that the business is registered in the UK, but where you are doing your business is in Ghana or
No. It's UK. Like, my point is that they want the business to be in the UK. But don't get me wrong. You are not, it's an idea stage. All I'm talking about, you have an idea. You're not started the business at all. You're not ready to start the business. The business does not exist. It's just you're on the idea stage. So you're applying as an idea. It's like an idea competition. Are you with me? So when they give you the visa, that's when you have to say, okay, you want to start to build the business. So it's just idea. It's just about idea in this case. You don't have, like, in fact, they will ask you if the business is already existing or just no. You're not thinking of it. This is what you want to do. These are my qualifications. These are my partners. These are my, and they apply for it. So there is no, it does not have to exist. Now, if the business exists in Ghana, for example, and you now want to create a branch or an extension in the UK, fantastic. It happens too. They allow it, right? If the business exists in Indonesia, you now want to say, okay, you want to transfer that business from Indonesia into the UK. Fantastic, is allowed, right? But I said earlier, the business does not need to exist for you to get the visa. The idea of the business should be innovative, scalable, and other factors which I can share later. Okay, I don't know. Can you partner with someone who is already in the UK doing a business? Hey, I think one of my partners, right? The psychiatrist, she's a UK citizen, right? So she's a citizen of the UK, right? So you can partner with someone who is in the UK. But she's not doing a business, right? But if she's doing a business, you can still partner with her. The most important thing is that she's contributing something uniquely, right? There's no condition that she must not be doing another business. She can be doing another business, but because you need an input in this business, so you can use her or use them, right? As a partner. Can we be relative? Okay, after this, do you pay IHS? Yes, you pay. But if you have anybody, if your wife is working for any of these health stuff, you can always get your IHS back. My wife she's in the health sector, so we are getting back our IHS after every 6 months. So Does it have to be a solution relevant to the UK? Yes, it must be relevant to the UK, and it must be a bit something that can scale to either Europe or other part of the world. Can the business in my country be replicated here in the UK? Yes. So if you feel that the same problem exists in the UK, right, you can replicate it here in the UK, right? In fact, if you can even show numbers that you have been doing it in another place, to boost your application to say that, okay, this thing can work. Please, could you share a link to the Innovator Founder Visa? Yes, I could share a link. Just give me a second. Yeah. Let me share it to this stuff. 1 second. It's normal UK Gov stuff. So, okay, this is a link. I hope I can post a link here. This is a link. I guess that's all the questions, right? Please have it in mind that you cannot game the system. You should be prepared to run the.
Is there any of the visas that can ask? Because I'm currently on a student visa, so I don't know if it's possible while being a student to apply for any of the visas, and if yes, what are the?
For all our speakers, either KTP, Global Talent, and Innovator, can a student who is studying apply?
I don't know the answer. I was not a student, right? but see, I believe one thing, right? I believe one thing. For Innovator Founder Visa, you should be able to apply because I think they asked us if we are there was a question they asked of recent because it's an update if we are migrating from a student visa into Innovator Founder Visa. UK is interested in ensuring that if you have a business, that business they know that business is going to employ someone, meaning that there's someone off the street for unemployment, right? So I don't see if you're in a student visa and you can apply. I don't think it's. You can always ask them before you pay the endorsement money for the investor or any of the endorsement partners. You ask them, can a student apply? They'll tell you yes or no. So that you don't even waste your money to pay for it. But there's no harm in applying. Go to any of them endorsement body, ask them, can a student apply, and they will tell you yes or no.
The challenge with that is that it's not good for a student to apply because you only work 20 hours. So you're not working full time. When you're contravening,
not necessarily, actually, sir. Apologies, but not necessarily. Okay, I will explain. For example, like my visa, I can work. I don't have to work like do my business full time. I'm doing 9 to 5.
I know we agreed to that, but you see, under the rules and terms as a student, you are a student, full-time student. You are a full-time student, and full-time student means that you should be full-time working and pay 20 hours outside of school work. But if you now become an innovator, even though it's an idea, the time it will take you to be able to conceptualize all this to be more than 20 hours a week. And you need to be done because I have this kind of ideas many years ago in which I tried the company and I tried the first training, only for me to not know that I was contravening for you to run a business.
But if you're on the care worker visa, and you're supposed to, apart from your main employer, you also have 20 hours extra. I think that's more adaptable.
Yeah. Let's take now before.
Sorry, I just want to talk. But Dr. Shola, I want to talk about the KTP route while you're still a student. This is FT.
Okay, go ahead. KTP while you're still a student.
Yeah. So basically, the KTP is ingrained into academia. Like, if you're a student, what you might want to do is, if you have interest in KTP, go to your KTP center in your school. Every school has one. RGU has one. Every school has one, and show your interest while you're still a student. Immediately you're done. Sorry. Immediately you're. Can you hear me?
Yeah, go ahead.
Yeah. So immediately you're done, they will let you know. But the UK visa rule is you can't switch a visa if you're yet to complete your student term. But once you are done as a student and you're still a student, you're still on your student visa. Once you're done, you can easily start. You can apply to what do they call it? KTP, and it's good to go. Yeah.
Okay. Let's quickly take, because of time, two more persons. Yes.
Okay, mine is more
Hello?
like,
Yeah, somebody is speaking here.
Yeah, hello,
Okay,
afternoon, sir. Hello, sir.
What's the question?
Yeah, the question is that, yeah, is it possible to share the guy's contact? Then number two, how does it go about the business plan? Because we have to.
So, sorry, Dr. Shola, I just wanted to add to something,
replicate
right?
what I have in Nigeria here as well. You understand? Then the business plan, how does it look like? Then the parameters, you know, we have different types of business plan because I've even contacted some people, they wanted to take money. That's why I don't want to do it. I want to do it myself. That's the reason why. If possible, we can have his contact as well. Thank you, sir.
Yes, Dr. Shola,
We'll share the
can you hear
contact
me?
later. Yes, go ahead. Go ahead.
Yeah, so I just wanted to
Go ahead.
share. I was working with enterprise units in RGU before, and what we do basically is to help people package their business plan and stuff like that. It's a free service if you're a student of RGU or an alumni of RGU, or if you're the husband or the wife. If it's your wife that went to RGU, you can actually access that service as well, either way. So it's a free service. They'll guide you on how to package your idea, and you can, so you don't just go to them and say, oh, this is what I want. You need to go to them as, this is the plan I want to make. Guide me. Tell them what you want. Tell them how you want. They're going to give you everything that you need to do. And that service is free. One thing I always tell people, especially when I advise them when I was working in RGU as enterprise coordinator, is when you go through that structured guidance, it saves you the cost that you have to pay someone else that will, that will charge you when you're applying for the visa. Thank you.
Because it's already 12:04 now. We do.
for Mr. Samuel, talking about the mental health work that they are doing, because honestly that I didn't run much in this country when I first came. It's just by things by the grace of God. A lot of us, we come in and we don't have the opportunity to have this kind of sitting when we are being shown the way. It's one thing for you to know what to do. Another thing is for you to find it out yourself. And also to commend you, sir, please, for putting up this platform. I will still also share my own testimony later because I was speaking with Dr. Balogun on Saturday night. That's when I turned 50, my 50th birthday. Thank you so much. And I was speaking with him that since I came in September 2022, I've been looking for a job, I've been applying, I've never gotten any positive answer. In short, I look forward to the rejection myself. Not until I joined the job club and I did my first, I did first training. It was the second training, after the first week, the second week, that I went and I did my application. The first one I did to NHS, it was rejected. I did the second one and I was called for interview, which was successful. Can you imagine? So if I had not been at the job club, I would not have gotten that. And I was still going around. So until you are at the right place, at the right time, at the right mentorship, you can never get it right. So now I just sent something to Kemi and I said, wow, my eyes have opened to the portfolio thing. I have been to what we call BAT Foundation. They put me on their panel discussion, and it has been on their website, all their social media handles. I've been to the US to present things, and I've never really taken it seriously. And now I'm here, I'm listening to him, and I find out that, oh, it's something I've just worked on since I came 2022. So thank you so much for the opportunity.
Thank you. So before you put that person, each one of us, please go back and look back. Things you did that might be just lying somewhere, some passion, and then we now begin to look at how do you create the document, the portfolio. So with people like the Dr. Yakubu or any of them, they can now work with you to know, okay, how do you do this one? So it might be what you plan for maybe next 1 year, 2 years or 3 years to be to build as a means of, if I do the student visa, I can move from student or the post-study into that one. So it's not something you do like you had. Something of 1 year cannot just cut it. Because you need to show that you have been doing something on that consistency. I think that you were about to say something.
I wanted to, because it has been answered. I wanted to say if you are skilled worker visa, and then you have intentions of going, maybe as a dependent, and your package, maybe you have a business doing over back in you want to bring it there. Now, based on this global talent, do we have to have all the resources? Because we don't have access to funds when you are here. I don't know whether they will give, because with all the financial outlay, you might not be able to, unless you partner. Or without access to funds, or do you have to have someone that will sponsor you?
Dr. Yakubu, can you answer that?
Global talent, I'm not sure the finance is talking about, but global talent visa does not require any money or whatever. It's only the money you pay for the endorsement. So when you apply through the UKVI, the endorsing body that will look through your application, you pay. And after that, they just tell you to go and apply for your visa, just the BRP and ETSO charge. You don't need any other money to put in account or something.
Maybe we'll speak to someone later. Okay, we'll speak to someone later. So on that note, Chukwe Meta Onuko, last person, so that we can wrap this up now.
Thank you very much for the opportunity, sir. First, I want to say thank you so much for this meeting we've had today. It's been, I wouldn't say it's been, I think I should say it's been empowering, because information empowers us. I could already see opportunities in everything that have been said. Now, my question is with regards to the innovator visa is, if you don't have a partner, can it still fly? If it's something, and if you don't have a partner and it's something that you have been doing, you have a track record that you have been doing it abroad, and yes, it can satisfy the part of being innovative. Can you still run that on your own here? And then secondly, is it also possible to be able to contact the speakers that have spoken today?
Okay, let me answer the first question, then Mr. Shala can answer the other ones. Yes, part of, because some people like us that have the innovator founder visa, we in this group is only for people who are on the innovator founder visa, right? And I see a lot of people there that are just sole founders, sole owners, right? So it's not compulsory you have a partner. For my own case, I needed a partner because I don't have experience with the health sector, and I cannot tell that I want to build an app on the health sector without having no experience at all in the health sector. So if what you have experience in it, why not? You can always apply for a loan. It's not compulsory you get a partner. If you have the necessary experience and the skill, it's fine.
So regarding the aspect of getting in touch with all our speakers today, just you know how to get in touch with Job Club. For those of you who are registered, we will share their details with you. So if you are joining us online and you're not part of the Job Club, I'll drop an email. My email on the chat box. Then send me an email that we can manage you. Is that okay?
Yeah, that's fine, sir.
Okay.
Just to add, interestingly, I got a refund from my global talent visa that didn't scale through. I got the fund refunded. Is that a normal practice?
No, it's not a normal practice. I'm surprised why they were refunded. Wow. Wow. Really?
All right. So I think on that note, I want to thank everyone who has made it. So online, we had at a point we had close to 40 persons, and on site here we have people also on site. Thank you so much for coming. That you didn't make it only us and the screen. So thank you to all our speakers, Dr. Balogun, FT, thank you so much. And of course, our innovator himself, Mr. Samuel Anjorin, we are grateful because for Samuel to be here today and for the three of them is challenging. But we want to appreciate you for adding value to people, and we believe that God will also add more value to you and prosper you in what you do in Jesus' name. Amen. So on that note, we want to thank everyone who has come. We believe that we'll continue to support you when it comes to employability and when it comes to visa. Believe in yourself. That's how we believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. Believe in yourself. It's important that you believe in yourself, that you don't give up. And please, don't, if you are having issues when it comes to mental health, speak out. Speak out. It's one thing I'm passionate about, one things we do. We run events for mental health for men, mental health for women, because those things are real. Those things are real. Challenges are real. So on that note, thank you so much for everyone. Let's have a word of prayer as we close. Our Lord will thank you. We are grateful for how you have given us information. Lord, now we have all this information. Please show us what it is. Give us ideas of how do we go from here next. And let at the end of the day, in 6 months, in 1 year time, 2 years time, let there be a testimony of all this knowledge and all this value in the name of Jesus. The right people we need to connect with. Yes. Even these our speakers, for them to, the Lord will pray that you help us. At the end, everything will be well. Thank you, Holy and my Father. For those who are having job interviews tomorrow and every Lord, please make a way for them. Let them be successful. In Jesus' name, we are praying. Amen.
Amen.
So please, we need to have a group on ground. For those who are online, it would be nice to show your face and let's see on the screen. Yeah, please just show your face. Let's see your beautiful faces. Okay, all right, good. Let's see your beautiful faces. Yes, I've seen Mrs. Amogale Akinyele. Yes, Emmanuel. Quick. Let's quickly see. Please. Where those who are there.
Hello.
Hello.
Hello, Pastor.
Thank you. All right. Thank you so much.
Thank you, sir.
Thank you, sir.
Okay, the first page. Okay, yeah.
Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
And bye for now, everybody.
Thank you. On Instagram as the Bridge Scotland.
Kindly follow us on Instagram
as the Bridge Scotland.
And also on LinkedIn as the Bridge Aberdeen on LinkedIn. And let's keep the good work.
So on Instagram.
On the group, all right.
We'll share it on the group.
And
take a picture.
Take a picture, please.
Just say beside the TV, so after the text.
Yeah.
Let's come forward. Come forward. It's all people can come forward.
So you should be in the middle. I should be in front. I think so. Yeah. Last is yeah, let's somebody start with you. Yeah. Thank you so much, everyone. Thank you so much. Okay, that's right. So we still have for the job clock to finish, we still have the teacher class continuing 2 weeks from now till the first week in April. Okay. So please, we are still available here to support you. Please, we are here, use us. We will use you. Thank you so much. Thank you. Professor. Okay.